you're not going to process, you're going to, well, you are going to process, but you're going to process the time that your group is supposed to. You're going to start at your stations while I'm talking through. You're going to hit your station and move in your directions. And next week, no processions required through Lent. I should tell people that.
you have a big copy of it?
Like just like a
Yeah, that we did yesterday. The big copy. Yeah, oh, it's on the table. It's on the table, so the water fountain in.
Good morning. By way of prelude this morning, we're going to do a little bit of instruction. The music has changed for Lent, for service music, and we're going to talk a little bit about a few things, just musically, how the service is encapsulated. I want to start by saying a word about the prelude and the postlude. Today is an instructional prelude, which is why I'm standing here. Preludes and postludes are a funny creole. They're a mixed, kind of have a muddy history in the church. They began in the Dutch Reformed Church, because at that moment in the Netherlands, the organ was not allowed to be used during the service, before and after, because they still saw this as a way of lifting song to God, but it couldn't happen during the service. Over centuries, this has morphed in many different traditions. And you can go into 10 different Episcopal churches, and you'll see the prelude and the postlude done in different ways, received in different ways. It's become sort of a parochial approach in the Episcopal Church. My favorite way of imagining it was coined by a musician at St. George's in Northern Virginia. And he wrote that the postlude and prelude are a sacred bridge. They're a sacred bridge that your musicians pray during the week, practice, and they're offering you a bridge into the church to come into God's temple, and they're offering you a bridge to go out into the world and do the work that Jesus calls us to do. So, here at Grace, there has been a tradition of a postlude and a prelude, and that will continue. There's also a tradition of the need for fellowship. There's a tradition of the work of the architecture of the church, which does not invite people to immediately move out, especially in cold weather, right? So here's the thing. It's not a competition. What's going to happen during Lent is the postludes are going to be very quiet. And we invite people who want to listen to them to move forward. There will be a pause. And people who want to talk. If you could move back a little bit, it helps people who want to listen. Again, going back to, in the Dutch Reformed Church, it was not a part of the church service. And we're dealing with this really kind of weird little hybrid creature think about if you have a hybrid car the first time you drove it, right? It was kind of a funny thing. So we've got this hybrid going on. So on a personal note, as a musician, I will say, I don't get my knickers in a twist, okay? It is difficult when loud conversations go on, like right up here in front. It makes it difficult to concentrate.